E kore rātou e kaumātuatia, pēnei a tātou kua mahu e nei. E kore hoke rātou e ngoikore, aha ko, pēhea ngā āhuatanga o te wā. As I walk among the fallen here who died 100 years ago, and looking out to the old city of Jerusalem from this beautiful urupa, it's hard not to feel the wairua within this place.
When people think of our roots as mounted rifles, they think of soldiers on horseback. And for many now resting here in Jerusalem, that was certainly the case. However, for hundreds of others, a more intriguing beast of war was to be their mount. Ships of the desert, they were called, ugly and ungainly to some, but extremely versatile and capable of feats traditional horsemen could only imagine.
Oh, well, they were terrible things when we were introduced to them, but you soon get used to their habits and what have you. But they were marvellous animals, really. You know, they could go for days and days without anything to eat.
The Imperial Camel Corps, which included New Zealand cameliers, played a vital role in the Great War, taking part in actions all throughout Sinai and Palestine. Their ability to carry heavy loads and go days without water made them perfect for long-range desert warfare in Sinai. And in Palestine, they often found themselves participating in major offences, including the First Battle of Amman, where the 16th New Zealand Camel Company distinguished themselves with the capture of Hill 3039, overlooking the city, a victory that invited intense Ottoman retribution.
There was one scrap I offered a man. It was a real good scrap. And at one stage of the game we were shooting at one another not the length of this room apart. Mass formation. There were 64 of us went into action one night, but there was only 19 of us walked out.
All day long, this exposed line was subjected to intense fire by artillery, machine guns and counterattack after counterattack. Of the 16th Company, Lieutenant Thorby led charge after charge. This is my great-great-uncle Charles Frederick Thorby. He was part of the Camel Corps. This photo's been sitting in our lounge since I can remember, and was passed down to my father from his father and so on.
I see that collar dog on his lapel there. It looks a lot like this.
It does actually, yeah.
So that tells me that he was a member of the unit that I belong to, Queen Alexandra's Mounted Rifles. So there's a nice little connection there, mate. And what can you tell us about your great-great-grand-uncle?
So yeah, they took 3039 and they held it for the 24 hours, but they were on top of 3039 looking down on Amman and waiting for the British to break through, but sadly that never happened, and so they were forced to withdraw from their hard-won position. But not before the division lost over 100 men, one of them being my great-great-uncle here, whose body was sadly never recovered.
For those that survived, the heroic actions at Amman would be among their last as cameliers, before the Corps disbandment 3 months later. And for many, the bonds forged in battle between camel and camelier made for a reluctant separation. Because Lieutenant Thorby's body was never recovered, Charles's name has been memorialised here on New Zealand's Memorial to the Missing in Jerusalem, along with 60 other Kiwis who have no known grave. For thousands of families from both sides of the war, the lack of a body for burial meant closure was never final. Their loved ones would never be at rest.
Moi no mai I tō moengaru. To be able to be here today, to not only honour Second Lieutenant Thorby, but the many others who lay here within this urupa, or who are memorialised on the wall behind me. It is both an honour and a privilege to be here. For me personally, as the Regimental Sergeant Major of the last surviving Mounted Rifles Regiment, it is very humbling to be among the New Zealand Mounted Riflemen who now lay within this urupa. I te hekinga atu o te rā, tae no ki te aranga mai o te ata, ka maumahara tonu tātou ki a koutou. Ka maumahara tonu tātou ki a koutou.